Deadair Hardcore Radio, exploring the world's best hardcore punk and all the various subgenres. For the next 2 hours we will enter a world apart from the rest. The time is now.
Stand to the side, be right the hardcore ride. How can you save me when you can't save yourself? Ready to fight.
Yo, what's up with that? Let's start jamming. All right, what's up? You're listening to Dead Air, 2 hours of hardcore radio. My name is Trevor. This is episode 100 of the show, of the podcasted version. If you've a long-time listener, thank you so much for listening for as long as we've been around. If you are new, I'm going to give you kind of a preview. We're a long-standing radio show. We're a radio show first. Started in 2004, not by myself, but by Kevin and Ian, who host a metal show in the Seattle area, a very popular one, and passed down to another host, and was passed down to me in 2014, and I've taken the show from FM college radio waves to the internet since 2017. Been doing internet radio, podcasting, and we made it to episode 100 through lots of trial and error. This show is primarily just myself. When I say we, it's mainly me and sometimes friends and the person that we interview usually every week. So we play mainly new music every week from hardcore, punk, metal, and all the adjacent genres that focus around hardcore. Sometimes some heavy shit, sometimes some punk shit, sometimes a little bit of slower shit. I think we have some of that in the bag tonight or today, whatever you're listening. We're podcasted in all the normal places: Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Google, and podcasted through Anchor and a bunch of other various places. Most of the places that you get your podcast. Also, we are first and foremost a radio show. So go to deadairhardcoreradio.com. You can check out all the times that we play if you're listening live, and you always listen live. Thank you so fucking much. I appreciate all of y'all. Thank you to all the stations that have supported us thus far. We have more on the way, more places, more. We have so many fucking ways you can listen to the goddamn show, and I'm super excited about that. So also follow us on the socials at DeadAirNWCZ on both Twitter and Instagram, Facebook.com/DeadAirHardcoreRadio. And you can send us an email, deadairnwcz@gmail.com, for reviews. If you want a website review, or if you want us to play you on the show, or you want to tell me how fucking stupid I am. That's all good. So, last thing, we always have a guest for the week. Somebody from a band, somebody in hardcore in general. This week we have Stan from the band Terminal Nation, a band from Little Rock, Arkansas, who I played with roughly 4 years ago when I was in a band, and met him through that. Talked to him on the FM radio waves roughly a little over 3 years ago, and they have a killer fucking record titled Holocene Extinction coming out very soon on 20 Bucks Spin, and it's fucking heavy as shit, and we're going to talk about that and just kind of catch up. So that's pretty much all we're doing for episode 100. Nothing too fucking crazy. I had a long weekend at one of the world's kind of jankiest Airbnbs with the worst fucking fold-out couch imaginable, with scary fucking haunted old, like, 30s style fucking pictures of of people that I'm pretty sure dead. And yeah, it was weird. It was a weird weekend. I'm not going to go too much into it because none of y'all want to hear that bullshit. If you're listening for the fucking music. So let's get into it. We started off with new music from Primitive Blast, Self-Deluding. They have a new record titled Animalistic from Sydney, Australia. This band fucking is mean, fast, hardcore with some fucking pogo parts. Especially in this first track. They are recently partnered up with Triple B Records that you can get if you're in the U.S., which is fucking cool. Very deserving. This band put on an amazing fucking show. I think they played with Angel Dust. Don't remember if they were exactly touring with the band, but it was a festival gone wrong, if to be completely honest. There was supposed to be a 3-day festival in the Tacoma area, and through some bullshit and whatnot, the festival became a bunch of isolated random shows across a weekend and not a fest. So I don't know, it was hard to track who was touring with who, because it was just like, it was supposed to be a fest, but just ended up being a bunch of random shows, which is still fine. It was still very fun. But it's a very good record, Animalistic. If you haven't heard Primitive Blast, you fucking should. And if you have, and you haven't heard this record, you're a fan of the band, you're going to fucking love it. So we're going to move on from that and get on to the rest of the music so we can get on to our featured interview, because like I said, I should have had more planned for episode 100, but I'm just like fucking jawing on. So we're going to play some new music from a band called Flush from South Korea. Been doing shit since 2015 roughly. Band is fucking sick. Sounds like Outbreak. They have a new 3-song EP. Check it out. Like I said, I love this. It has a very mid 2000s style. I'm not sure if it's specifically trying to accomplish this, but from my ears, it has that. It really, to me, sounds like Outbreak, and there's not, for me, what's not to like. So listen to this fucking track, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Dead Air, 2 hours of hardcore radio.
want to forget, pain is so hard. I want to get out, I don't forget. It's not easy, pain is so hard. Now, let open your eyes and I see you. Blow back around, let's stand, get over the time. Now I roll, I get put it back. Now, let open your eyes and I see you. Blow back around, let's stand, get over the time. Now I get put it back. Put it up back!
What's up, motherfuckers? This is Deadair100 telling you to check out the brand new Deadair website now. Go to Deadair100radio.com for all podcasted shows as well as news, reviews, and content you can't get anywhere else. Go now or feel the wrath of my cold hard robotic legs been kicking you straight in the face.
All right, what's up? You're listening to Dead Air, 2 Hours of Hardcore Radio, episode 100. We started off the set with new music from The Path and Psychic Weight. They have a new split out titled Fight Death. I believe, let's look. We have 7 songs from The Path and 6 songs from Psychic Weight. So it's a LP. So 12 songs altogether. Varies in different song lengths throughout. It's very up and down. You know, if you over a minute, there's a couple. Looks like there's a 4-minute song at the end. The Path does a Warzone cover of United Worldwide. In this, they I believe The Path sent in music a while ago, and we did a recent review, a review episode with Chris like a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago, and played music off their record Chaotic Good, which has like a spider bear thing going on. I believe they have a song about a spider bear, and I was that was a head scratcher for me. But we played Washington is Burning from The Path, and I'm really digging this split from both of these bands. The Path is from Vermont. It doesn't say where Psychic Weight is, but they both kind of hail in that same hardcore punk vein, and stay in that arena. Some stuff that pulls from a lot of styles of hardcore punk, and so it looks like there's some chaotic stuff in there as well. It's a little hard for me to quite categorize these two bands at this time, so just check out the split. I haven't figured out, like I said, where Psychic Weight was from, but I'm gonna guess close, but I'm not sure. So Path from Vermont. Check out the new split. After that, we played. So let me reverse real quick. We played Washington is Burning, and By the Path, and Psychic Weight, Caveman. So I just wanted to make sure I don't remember. I can't go back right now. So we're doing it live. After that, we played new music from Portland. Roughly new music. Came out at the end of June. Some fastcore, grindcore with some power violence elements. Demo Quality, a band called Pinner, from Portland. They put out music right at the end of June, and we played Def Mids, just 28 seconds of pure demo quality, power violence. And I say demo quality in the best possible way, because music like this is supposed to be raw. After that, we have some more new music from Portland, from a band called Wired Shut. This is coming from more of a realm of the First Step, Battery, Carry On, stuff in the 2000s, hardcore punk realm. It didn't look like it from the artwork. It looked like it could have been a little bit darker of a sound, but you know, I'm not here to judge. But some other good music from Portland. Check it out. They have a 3-song, I believe. Let me click back. Yeah, 3-song demo that came out right at the end of May, and you can download that for free on Bandcamp. After that, we have music all the way across the pond, London, UK, from The Chisel. 5 songs. A 5-song release titled Deconstructive Surgery. Some music that's kind of in the speed of UK 82, some old UK punk hardcore with a heavy oi influence, a little bit of rock and roll undertones, some of early rock and roll influenced hardcore that I can hear in some of this music. We played Rat Running Scared. Before that, I'm sorry, I always fuck this up. With Wild Shot, we played Again and Again off the Wild Shot 2020 demo. That was my bad. And then we played The Chisel with Rat Running Scared. Yeah, some very good music from London, so check it out. And then we finished up the set with War Babies. That is Mike De Lorenzo from Kill Your Idols and Sheer Terror, among a lot of other bands, as well as Darren, who played in Brain Slug and Born Sinner. And so check. If you haven't listened to it, check it out. It is punk for the quarantine age. We played You're Not Essential. So a lot of very topical songs for right now. We've had a lot of quarantine demos, but this seems to be a little bit higher end, and this is a full record, not just a fucking demo. So and with that punk rock resume, I have high expectations that they definitely hit with this LP. So check out the War Babies LP titled Quarantine Core. It's out on Trip Machine Laboratories right now, and we're gonna get to our interview with Stan from Terminal Nation just a second, and we're gonna play. But before that, we're going to play Holocene Extinction, the self-titled, off their LP that's going to be on 20 Bucks Spin very soon. Here we go. All right, welcome to the show. Stan from Terminal Nation, chilling in his car, hanging out while you're talking to me. Stan, how are you doing? It's been roughly 3 years since we've connected for the show. Terminal Nation has done quite a few things. I believe you had.
Yeah, yeah.
I think 2017 was when we talked. That was when you had an.
That sounds about right. Or for the release of our Absolute Control 7-inch EP. I think that's when that was coming out. That was our last conversation.
Yeah. So.
Also done in my car.
Oh shit. Okay, it sounded fine. I couldn't fucking tell the difference. So there's been so it's been 3 years. You got Terminal Nation has not let up one bit. You guys have done touring. You've put out, I believe, some mini releases here and there between this full length. You guys did I believe it was a split last year, right?
Correct. Yeah. A 7-inch split with the band Neckbeard Death Camp. Yeah,
you guys did that. You put out one of my favorite songs from you guys, Ice Watch.
Yes.
that song and the imagery for that shirt. I know that went like, well, the first time I saw the Ice Watch shirt, I knew that it people were gonna hit you up all over the fucking place for it. Like the imagery is absolutely fucking like appropriate and perfect.
Hell yeah, thank you.
How much shit because I've looked on YouTube. I've seen like you guys your video for Ice Watch. You have and I know Neckbeard Death Camp has stuff on YouTube and of course because of the content you're going to get some internet shitheads.
Sure, of course.
How has that been over the last couple years since like
I mean yeah, considering the I guess the subject matter of a lot of the stuff we write about, like I've always been a punk kid and a hardcore kid at heart. I've always, written about subject matter that I thought was important, maybe kind of pushes people's buttons that, hold opposing or fascist views. People talk shit, whatever. It's just kind of something that I've grown accustomed to. It doesn't really bother me or anything. But yeah, we do get shit on a little bit here and there from either, people who have polar opposite views from us, or people who are like, yo, why don't you just play music and keep the politics out of it, which is really like, I don't know. I would say that Terminal Nation absolutely unequivocally is a hardcore band, maybe even a punk band, I would describe us as. So like if you're familiar with us and you're thinking that we need to like be apolitical, I don't know, that's a very poser mindset, I think. But yeah, we've gotten shit here and there, and it's whatever. Nothing too crazy online anyway.
Yeah, and it's just I saw like YouTube. There's a couple of like little like I think that happens all the time with this type of music, just because like I've caught on to it for a while, but I think people are now catching on to it more and more, and I've been talking to it with all the other bands of a lot of these people who don't share the same views as a lot of these punk, hardcore, metal bands, especially like when most of them are very political, that they literally didn't get it. They just heard some fucking riffs, and then when they see somebody post something, especially I think like what the big head scratchers are the people who've gotten mad at like Rage or System of a Down and been like,
yeah, so
are
goofy.
you fucking kidding me? Like, what did you think Prison Song was about? Fuck.
Right. What did you think every Rage Against the Machine song is about? Yo, you must be new here, homie, but dude, this has been going on for a while.
I think they're just new mentally, just because I'm like I think it's just another just example of just like consumer listenership of just like I'm just taking. I don't need to absorb anything while I'm here, while I'm at these shows, while people are talking. This is just for me. This is to make me feel cool and feel better about myself.
Yeah, a very like surface level involvement. I'm here for the riffs. I'm here to rock out, but that's fucking it. I feel like, some genres of music you can kind of get away with that, but it like you said, it's a real head scratcher, especially in the world of like hardcore punk, when it's always been much deeper than just the riffs or just the fucking mosh parts or whatever. There's always been a message since its inception, so it's kind of like, what are you doing here? Like, why does this appeal to you if you're just here for the breakdowns or the mosh parts?
But I think that's also like, it just depends on where, alternative music or heavy music goes at the time, because, you have trends, you have people somehow get to hardcore at a certain points where it's popular and it's a cool thing to do, where it's like, oh, look at me, I'm different. So you're like, I absorb all these bands, I get all these shirts, I do this. So for most of the people who I'd say, I'm not saying all, but I'm just saying there are like the clout chasers out there. That's why
sure
they could care less between the message of Terminal Nation and the message of One Life Crew. They're
sure.
they're just here for a good time. Funny fucking story. I get. I like to go on side tangents.
Yeah, that's cool. Go for it.
So me, my friend Nate, from here, we, for a little while, me and a couple of our hardcore friends from down Tacoma area, we worked at a warehouse, and during the break, because me, I've been in some bands in the past, and
sure, of course.
So the whole coworker thing, when you're bored, you don't know, it's like, if you've been in a band, you like show them the band stuff, and he was apparently on break. Nate showed this dude what was supposed to be my band, and he's like, yeah, I showed you a band, and I was like, and then the coworker comes up to me and is like, why do you have such like whack ass like lyrics? Why did you say fuck Notorious Big? And I was like, what are you fucking talking about? What did you show? And it was like, why did you also say 1990 Hate? I was like, did he show you? He fucking been showing my coworkers One Life Crew and saying that it was
shit.
It was my fucking band.
No. Oh.
So God. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And I'm just like, it's also just like, I think that was around the time where Singer started his fucking YouTube of whack ass shit. And don't check it out. Don't check out his fucking YouTube. Don't give him views. I'm not gonna don't fucking do it. I saw somebody do that and like talk stuff. I was like, dude, you are giving, every time you post his shit, he loves it. You put it on, you click, and like that video usually gets 100 more views than it was going to get, because all his shit has like 50 to 40 whatever. So anyways, to get off of that tangent, just I guess the whole thing with the fucking weird alt-right internet people, I think it's just also like a phenomenon of like there was I believe it was the band Stray from the Path. They had a video and it was super political, and it, in my opinion, wasn't very good anyway, so I didn't care. But like I think I know. I'm familiar with. I think a bunch of alt-right people hijacked the comment feed and thought it was the coolest thing, and they tanked the videos like basically they
The
gave
thumb ratio,
the
or
thumb ratio. They somehow
whoa,
they all got together and just trolled the fuck out of the video and trolled the fuck out of the bands and thought that they were super hot shit and thought it was like an alt-right victory.
yeah,
So,
what a fucking magnificent victory.
so I think that's where some of this kind of stems from looking, especially because I know like Neckbeard Death Camp was literally created to frustrate the fuck out of these people.
Sure.
So I'm sure that with that, it gives it opens a small lane to you guys in that way with the split, just with a little bit of shit talk here and there. But honestly, it's just the fucking internet. Fuck
For
'em.
sure. I mean, yeah. Typically, they don't have the fortitude to just like show up in person. Typically. Now we did have an incident a couple years back. We played a show with a metal, almost like a grindy band from Nashville called Yautja. I don't know if you're familiar. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's like a X-Men reference, I believe. Very good band. But we played a show with them, and this was kind of, there had been like alt-right protests kind of going on in the city, and we played in Little Rock as a local gig, and one of these fucking nerds like showed up to the show, but like wasn't very flamboyant about it. Like he was very low key, but somebody was like, "Yo, that's that dude from that white nationalist group or some shit." And like I kind of, when the message got to me, like we were like setting up to play right then and there on like a strict time, but I kind of called him out from the stage. I guess he disappeared like instantaneously. I think he realized that I'm like a 285-pound big ass dude, so it's maybe it's a little easier to talk shit over over the internet, but in person, real life is different maybe. And he probably realized I would have took my fucking size 13 white cement Air Jordan 4 and stick it straight up his ass kind of thing. But he was like gone as soon as he heard that I was pissed off about his presence. Like he was like low key, kind of like some goofy ass, I'm doing reconnaissance to see what this band is about kind of thing. And it was so corny, but luckily he disappeared and he never showed up again. So good for him.
Well, I think that's funny. Not to give too much light to or commentary to these fucking idiots, but like, it's just funny that the idea of what is it? There's that meme of the girl in the protest crying and they're triggered, and that's what they think everybody in their opposition looks like. If in their mind is just some skinny like quote unquote Antifa person, and it's just, I think it's so funny how like diluted their mind is, as far as like people that oppose them are all like, you're all fucking cowards.
Right. Well, it comes from a level of ignorance or whatever. Typically you find people, especially here in Arkansas or whatever, for a long time after September 11th, it was these rednecks. They hated Muslim people, whatever. But a lot of these people had never even met a Muslim person in their fucking life. So it's like, how do you hate somebody that you've never met or whatever? It comes from a place of ignorance. You're not familiar with a person. You've never been exposed in real life. You might have seen things in the media, whatever. But you're coming from a place, I mean, most of the time, you're coming from a place of ignorance. To piggyback onto that, coming from a place of ignorance, like wanting to take your online tough guy persona and use it in real life. Oftentimes you come from a place of ignorance there if you're doing that kind of shit. Like usually these fools that have that mindset and they want to like step to you because they think you're like some scrawny little nerd or whatever. Oftentimes they've never been checked in real life before, and when they do get checked in real life, it doesn't always work out in their favor or whatever. But yeah, that shit is so corny. That shit is so corny.
Well, to get off of that, like as far as like to get back into just the music political stuff, like
Yes, please, let's do that.
yeah. So like band, like one thing is like I think there's a cool like wave of bands in the last few years like I think that are about their shit when it comes to just like staying true to their message, and just consistently political and not and just like about their shit. You guys and Red Bait are two of like
Great band.
Absolutely like unwavering, because I feel like you guys will never stop talking about or doing what you're doing, and it's one thing I appreciate about you guys, because especially with the even now, as it's been almost it'll be close to a month and a half since George Floyd, there has been
Sure.
you know there's still a lot of things pushing forward, but there are political hype people that have fucking disappeared, and I think that happens with hardcore and I don't want to talk too much shit because I think there's a lot of people that have done a lot of good things, and
no doubt,
donated
yeah, there's a lot of positive to be said.
There's
sure.
a lot of positive, but I think there's also sometimes there gets people being like they get on and immediately get off. They're almost like they ride it like a news cycle, like and kind of move on with their lives. And we definitely need in hardcore people like you, Stan, people like Red Bait that keep things like consistent and moving, and remind that like there's always going to be a fucking fight to fight out here. There's always
sure.
We have to always keep pushing forward. Always Black Lives Matter, and we always have to keep like we can never just pay like gaze our attention to something else and just pretend like something is over, because this ain't over. It's not gonna be over for a long time, and we gotta stay vigilant and remain steadfast and keep fighting and advocating for people whose voices are getting silenced out there.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, that's just what hardcore is to me. So if somebody's like involved in hardcore but they want to remove themselves from those aspects of it, I don't understand that. So like I got into hardcore, or more extreme side of hardcore, power violence, whatever, through bands like Earth Crisis, Infest, Left for Dead, stuff like that. Stuff that was very like to the point, lyrically aggressive, but like about something, not just kind of like nonchalant, kind of talking in code or whatever. Like it was very like the lyrics are just like dead on. There's no mistake about what the song is about. That's what hardcore. That's hardcore to me. So, like that's just my purview of hardcore. We're just doing hardcore shit. So, if some people say that we're overly political, I'm just doing what I know. So, that's what hardcore is to me, is about, using your voice to call out injustices and things like that.
All right, we're getting to the midpoint of our interview. So let's talk about the new music. August 7th,
Let's do it.
$20 spin. Hollis and Extinction. You guys have upped the death metal. You guys have upped the your sound is even bigger than before. I haven't heard the whole. I've only heard like 2 songs from the record so far, but it's like I said, you have upped the metal completely compared to what's going on. You sound fucking like even more pissed. Like the grab, like it's like I said, you've channeled all things death metal with this record. You want to tell us a little bit about this record for just to give us an idea of what we're all in for.
Sure. So I know you had mentioned death metal a few times. So sonically, yes, it pulls. We pull a lot of influence from the death metal world. I think this was kind of a slow build, a culmination to get to where we are now. Terminal Nation has, like I said, if you were to ask me, is Terminal Nation a hardcore band or even a punk band today, I would absolutely, agree with that. In terms of lyrical messages, structures of the songs and stuff like that. But we did pull a lot more death metal influence here. We had been kind of writing this record, for the better part of 2 years now, and one of our I guess bucket list things as a band was to do an LP, or hell, one of my bucket list things as a fucking human being or a participant in hardcore metal or extreme music or whatever is to do like a full length record. I've been in this band and other bands. I've done handful of 7-inch EPs, tapes, demos, whatever, but never like a proper, legitimate, full length, a full album. So that was always kind of on our bucket list to do. We'd been writing for a while now. We wrote so much shit. We scrapped so much shit. We changed so much stuff. This was just kind of the gradual progression of the band. I think we kind of we mentioned earlier the Neckbeard Death Camp split. The two songs off of that are sonically a lot heavier, crunchier, meaner than previous releases. Those two songs were actually going to be on the full length LP, and then those Neckbeard Death Camp hit us up about, yo, let's do a split, and then people were like, yo, that would be sick. We were like, fuck it, we got 2 songs demoed, let's just throw them on here and do a split. So that was kind of like a teaser. We still ended up writing beyond that record, and beyond that record we kind of started to take some of the structures and songs that we had built and then kind of tweak them, improve them, build upon them. I think when our guitar player Dalton, when he joined the band, right before the release of Absolute Control, you can tell that EP is significantly more metal than our our Waste EP, the debut EP. But it's just Holocene Extinction is more of it's Terminal Nation, heavier. We finally found our lane, and we're riding in it hard. It's heavier, it's better, it's faster, it's more cohesive, it's improved. It's just us at our best, firing on all cylinders. For the first time ever, we took time to go into a studio to write. First of all our previous releases have kind of been a little more rushed, but we took time to write. We took time to go into a studio. We invested money in making the record sound good rather than just like, yo, let's record something in a day and get out there at, the cheapest way we can do it. We kind of saved up to make this happen. So there was a lot of moving parts going into it. But I'm ultimately pretty happy. It's Terminal Nation that everyone's familiar with, but just cranked up to 11 at our absolute best. So I think a lot of people will dig it, and I hope I hope everyone digs it. I'm excited for it.
Well, I'm here for all of it. I've seen Terminal. I've been listening to you guys for the past like 4+ years.
Hell yeah!
And I would suggest, like, if you're a new listener to this band, check out some of the old stuff. There's a lot of everything, like from beginning to end. I think you have, a solid band is a solid band. Like you said, you've upped the production, sound is bigger, and I think you're going to get a lot of people who are into this, who usually view their hardcore from a metal lens, who like, if they listen to anything like hardcore, it's through like their metal friend that shows them, you
Sure.
know, All Out War or, you know,
Hell
some of
yeah.
the newer like Gatecreeper stuff that's basically just hardcore kids making metal music.
For sure. For sure.
So and that's a lens and that's something I'm all here for. And this is not me saying any material is like worse than the other. I'm saying you guys have solid stuff through and through. You've like I said earlier, you've always been about your shit lyrically. So let's talk about that. What's the recurring and ongoing theme for this LP?
So the title track, the name of the record is Holocene Extinction. And basically Holocene Extinction is an extinction period that we're living in now. It's basically man-made, like a mass extinction that's where human beings are causing basically their own death, or the death of their home, the death of their planet. It, you know, that may sound big and grandiose and, you know, like fantasy, but it's reality. We're living in it now. Capitalism is is leading the charge in the end of this world, and maybe the end of civilization, or at least for civilization for poor folks. You know, the end of those who aren't able to live beyond. But yeah, so it's still political in a sense. I know some people were like, "Whoa, you guys are writing a song about the end of the world." I thought you guys wrote more political stuff. And yes, the end of the world is absolutely political. You know, we're seeing it now every day with the current administration lifting EPA regulations and just we're pushing people to work in the midst of a pandemic for economic gain when we absolutely do not have to do that. You know, we're seeing this shit every day. So that's what Holocene Extinction is. That's what Holocene Extinction means to me. It's still big and larger than life, but it absolutely, you know, it's absolutely a political thing for sure.
Well, politics isn't just in the moment. We have to be future minded too, of like,
For sure.
like not we can't always predict, like we don't know where everything, you know, leads or ends up, but we have a good idea of what could happen if we're not careful and we're not paying attention and we're not shedding light on these subjects. I hope it doesn't happen, and I hope that we can find you know, a better you know, just way of life for everyone, especially the people who have been kept down by capitalism for this, you know, for all this time. And I hope there can be healing, but to be
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, but to be blind, but
It's not looking good.
No.
Every day that passes that we don't like start turning back that that doomsday clock, you know, we're in trouble. We're definitely in trouble.
Yeah, and it's not a fun thing, but like you said, it's absolutely fucking political. This is because there's a lot of people who want you to not pay attention, and like you said, with
For sure.
with work restrictions and stuff like that, they just want you to they want you to pretend everything's fine, get back to work, and do what they need you to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Be obedient and not question anything.
Don't question, you know, Blue Lives Matter, lick the boot.
There is some fun a track on the album called Leather Envy. Leather in reference to like a leather boot. And I do say death to all fucking bootlickers. A few people who have done reviews on the album are like, do you say what I think you say right there? And I'm like, yes, absolutely. I articulate my lyrics well, but yes, if you're wondering if I say death to all fucking bootlickers, yes, that is what's said there. So, I mean, that's one example of another track. We touch on a whole bunch of other things. American imperialism. We have a song called "Death for Profit." It's been in our live rotation for a couple of years now, but it's just about really about capitalism. The the wheel that keeps spinning to keep American imperialism. They're one and the same. Capitalism, American imperialism. We have another track on the album. Let me see here. Caskets of the Poor, another song about American imperialism and how blind patriotism leads to, mass enlistment and just kind of the brainwashing of young, naive, poor people who, brainwashing them to enlist into the military against their better interests, whether for economic reasons or for, reasons to be, wanting to be involved in some sort of fulfillment or, fulfilling some sort of patriotic obligation or whatever. But basically, enlisting, thinking that they're doing a good thing. And at the end of the day, if you die for that, what did you die for? At the end of the day, what did you die for? So that song Caskets of the Poor kind of touches on that. We got a bunch of other songs that kind of in similar about similar subjects on the record too. I'm pretty stoked. It's a very political record, but it is kind of all over the place in a sense. We touch on a lot of different topics, so it's more than just the mass extinction of humanity, but all of it kind of plays into that central theme.
Like I said, we're all kind of all these things that are happening are all playing their part, and they all kind of they can there's the possibility that they will all merge to that one road and that final destination.
Yeah, that's the light at the end of or the darkness at the end of I don't know. I feel like that's the end point eventually. Everything else is stuff that we hit along the way.
It's all, they're all vessels and modes of transportation. That's just the final gate. Unfortunately
So. Yeah, it does appear that's where we're headed.
Dude, it sucks that
it's kind of bleak, man. It kind of sucks.
It sucks that I've gotten to this point where I'm like, dude, I would say 10, 15 years ago, I would have been scared out of my fucking mind talking about this.
And now you've kind of accepted it, I guess.
Dude,
yeah, I'm in that boat. I'm like, well, it's happening. It's not a matter of if, but when.
Dude, this is why I definitely anyone in our age range or younger Gen Z. I mean, I would do what you want to do, but I wouldn't have fucking kids, man.
Yeah, for sure. I feel that.
I don't want to tell someone how to fucking live their life, man, but I'm not going to tell you not to. I'm just going to be like, I want you to
recommend against it.
I really think about
consider the consequences.
Listen to what we've been saying and think about that and if this happens, is this what you want for your maybe not your grandchildren, maybe not your children, but definitely your grandchildren in 20 plus years.
That's dark.
I don't want to be like that, and that's where people. I think everybody's low key a lot of people in our age range and our generation has can kind of see that. So that's why all the old capitalist pieces of shit are like, why aren't they having kids?
Because we grew up watching Captain fucking Planet on TV, saying that the Earth is fucking ending. Stop throwing, your trash into the ocean. It's been ingrained in our heads, our whole lives that like we're living on a ticking time bomb here.
Because you don't fucking listen to us anyway. So this is the only thing we fucking can do.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. So fuck, man. You have dude. It's another shitty situation as having a fucking. I'm excited to hear the rest of this record. And dude, it sucks making good music right now with little or nothing to do with it besides play do an online live set. Do you think
sure it's really it's a weird time.
Is that something you might do, or are you guys just gonna put out the record, hold off until you can play a live show?
Yeah, so we've actually been approached about doing kind of like a live like a live stream show kind of thing, or maybe a fest, whatever. A bunch of bands doing a live maybe a pre-recorded set or a live stream set. So I think we're gonna do that at some point. It's kind of been, what else can we do at this point? You got to really be creative right now. It sucks, that it's not ideal to release an LP of this stature without being able to tour on it. We're a band that hasn't been able to tour a whole lot, but we were kind of committing ourselves this year with the release of a record to hit the road, hit places we'd never been before. I think we had some of the guys in the band have certain obligations that limit us to not being able to go out on the road for weeks or a month at a time or whatever. But we were going to do little spurts of runs, in the Northeast, hit the West Coast. We had planned to go to Japan. All this shit we wanted to do this year, we were going to make happen, riding the wave of this LP, and we can't. So we got to kind of think outside the box a little bit. I think people would be into the idea of a live stream set. We can kind of, make it unique, throw a little bit of our personal flavor into it or whatever. So yeah, I think in August there's supposed to be a pretty cool, like a live stream festival, metal festival, if you will, with some pretty sick bands that we're going to be partaking in. So I'm excited for that. That's our only live stream venture at this moment. But if that goes over well, we might do others and stuff like that. It's just shitty. It's a weird time. We're a band that really, I think we're at our best live. So to not be able to do that, especially with all this new music, it's tough for sure.
You're a style band where it's like, I think you have to be like down on the ground in like doing fucking floor shows, doing fucking basement shows. Like I think that's the experience, man. Like up close, personal. Do the fucking thing.
For sure. Well, hardcore is a music that, in my opinion, is intended to be encapsulated. Like the Fury is intended to be encapsulated. Like it's meant to be seen live. For a long time, we've been a band who has an extremely intense live set, and we've been trying to somehow mimic that on recording. Well, I think we finally did that with this new record, but now, people are going to hear this record and be like, oh shit, I want to see this band live because I've heard they're insane live and they can't do it. So it's weird. I don't know how it translates. I've seen, a band like Code Orange, which I wouldn't consider Code Orange a hardcore band, but they took like a live streamed performance and they fucking ran with it. What they did was amazing. Like a lesser band could not recreate what Code Orange did on their live Twitch stream. I'm sure you're familiar with the performance, right?
Yes, and so we did a whole episode just on Code Orange in general. Like we did I don't know if it was a 2-parter, but we did
like a deep dive kind
Yeah,
of thing. I think I remember seeing you post about it. I'll check it out. I'll have to check it out and go back in the archives.
We did our deep dive because of that, and just like how they are just very a super right place at the right time, and they really know how to seize the moment with especially
for sure
with those things. And I have always this is a one band where it's like it's live only or it's nothing. I'll watch this band live and be like, this band is just puts on a great live show. I can't put on I can personally can't really put on a record and feel much or feeling
sure I feel that. I get
about their live presence. I'll see them live any fucking day of the week because they just have that energy that they emit when they perform, that they still like even at their height right now. It hasn't let up from when they played like Red Room in Tacoma. And
for sure, yes. So, sonically, there's been some changes, but the intensity, the live intensity is it's definitely still there. I would absolutely agree with that.
And having that type of connection to where, like, even my mom, who doesn't like anything heavy, watched it and was like, "This is really cool." She accidentally, accidentally clicked on the live stream because it was at the same time there was some sort of like huge crafting. My mom's really into crafts, and so there was some sort of seminar happening at the same time that was super popular, and it was literally rivaling, like Code Orange and this crafting seminar was rivaling.
Badass.
so my mom clicked on it. Was like, "What is this?" And she's like, and she sent me this. Was like, as I was watching, like, "Did you see this? This is something you might like. It's actually pretty cool." And I was like, so back to that. I get it for most bands because I went from, you go from that, and I think the next day was Cro-Mags, and that was more like it with Harley and shit. It was more like funny watching Harley and try to engage with technology than
it's hard, man. I like, people can rag on Cro-Mags all day, but yeah, I'm familiar with that. I think I saw clips of it, and it was rough. Like I said, hardcore is it's difficult to make that translate into like a non-live performance, a performance that's not in person. It's really tough. Like I said, Code Orange was able to do it extremely successfully. I've seen some other pretty good efforts out there, but sometimes when it clicks, it clicks. When it doesn't, it doesn't.
Some of them, and also there's some that were less entertaining, but still sounded good. Like I think
for sure
a couple weeks after that, they I know Year of the Knife did one, and
the Sonny from 856 maybe recorded, right?
Yeah, he recorded it, and it just great fucking sound. Just the sound was
for sure, and it was intense. Like, they Year of the Knife is a really good band. They were able to work with the cards that they were dealt, and I think they knocked it out of the park. They did to the best of their ability. Obviously it's a little bit of a handicap to kind of perform catering to a live audience that's not in front of you, but I think they did it as well as anybody could, all things considered, without having the extra, the beyond things that Code Orange, the accessibility of the stuff that Code Orange is pulling from. But Year of the Knife did a great job on their performance. It sounded good. It sounded really damn good.
Absolutely. So fuck yeah, like I could see huge that this that I could see this be like, if you could go out there and tour on what I anticipate is going to be a very well received record. That I think you'd have some fucking hella good opportunities. I mean, you guys have worked your ass off these over these past like 5-6 years doing what you've been doing, especially since like between the last time we talked with the 7-inch and now, you guys have not let up like one bit. And with that energy and with the product that you have now, I can't see it not like I can't see people not being fucking stoked on it.
Hell yeah! Thank you very much. Thank you. I know in the world of hardcore, we haven't quite clicked yet. With this new album, it's being more marketed. It seems like it's gravitating more towards the metal realm, which is fine. You know, that's cool. I think we definitely have our feet planted firmly in both areas. So I'm trying to, you know, maybe this will be the record that finally clicks with hardcore kids. We'll see, but thank you for the kind words.
Absolutely. Fuck, man, this is a hardcore show. I don't even really click with hardcore kids, dude. I play what I play. Dude, I don't even do like the hottest hardcore takes, but and people will get like I'll even do like a soft take on my like Facebook, and someone will get so pissed. Like I said that I didn't say that I hated New Integrity. I just said that it wasn't my shit. It did not click with me, and they were like, "That's the worst fucking take ever."
Oh man, come on.
The
New Integrity's fine. You know, it's fine. It's not. You know,
I'm not offended. I'm not fucking offended. I just don't.
Sure.
I just said I don't care. And if I don't care about something, I will never fake and pretend that I like something to play it for my fucking show, because we're not on an FM radio station anymore. I had to go through those politics and that bullshit of doing something because it fits the format. And I played a bunch of things, some things sonically I just didn't fucking agree with. I will never fucking go back to that. I'm honestly not as like anal as some people are, like about some stuff and like about how a band is categorized or whatever. I've never been that person, and that will never be this show. This ain't fucking Pitchfork. I'm not gonna fucking put smoke up someone's ass. It's never going. This is just, it is what it fucking is. Like, I think
it is what it is.
Like last year, because I was doing it, I stopped doing it because, no offense to Axe to Grind, they're fucking have helped a lot of people, especially my old ass at times. Like, you know, like a lot of people in my age range get back into hardcore and or just be like, keep connected in some way for like the people 30 plus out there. But I did the long, like since 2014 we did the this or that like
a segment kind of thing.
And I got shit on because Axe to Grind did it, so they thought I fucking stole. Some kids thought I fucking stole it. And
no!
And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And people got on my, and then they would get. So I would do like very like, I would try to do big bands for people to be like, you know, so everyone can get involved. I tried to do very broad term ones. So I did one that was like Nails or Black Breath, and they were like, those bands sound fucking nothing alike. There's nothing even remotely close. And I was like, I mean, are you serious? I mean, it's not. I'm not saying that they're like perfectly alike, but they're not fucking day or night or anything. Are whoa? They're both
for sure.
They both have fucking. I was like, but some kid just tried to like go off on me, and I don't even know if he ever fucking listened to the show in his goddamn life, and that's why I'm just like, do whatever you fucking gotta do. This is. I always say this. This is my hardcore show. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
Very good. Very good.
Get the fuck over it.
Yes, and I would pick Black Breath. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I would too, but I think people were just mad that I put nails up against them. I was just like,
yeah, I don't know. It sounds like somebody who's looking for something to fucking be pissed off about. The internet's great. The internet does fucking fantastic things for hardcore. It does fantastic things for extreme music, metal, whatever. Like, you know, it broadens people's horizons. It exposes people to shit that they might not have been exposed to. But it also kind of fucking sucks because a lot of fucking dorks can just be antagonistic fucking naysayers online with no recourse whatsoever. Like, you're not going to post that on your Facebook page and then this person comment under there, let's have a conversation next time we're in person. And then they say, are you fucking serious? Like, that's not going to happen. So it's easier. There's a level of anonymity. You know, there's no recourse. You can just be like, fuck you. You're an idiot for comparing those two bands. And then nothing's ever going to come of it because there's no, I don't know. It makes things too easy to just be an asshole sometimes.
And it's just like people got so mad at the ones I did like. I could
name the nails off the top of my head. Okay, similar guitar tone. They were both in the wave of like in 2012. People were throwing around the term entombcore for like hardcore bands with that guitar tone. They were both in that wave. Both Southern Lord Records bands, I think. You know, both West Coast. Like, there's like so many similarities between the two. Like, come on, to say that they have no, you know, no similarities whatsoever. To be like to act like that's some sort of extreme jump it's a little silly.
I stopped doing it for after a while because it's just like the people got so fucking butthurt, and it just became me like just addressing like on my show the butthurt people. I'm just like, I'm trying to start a conversation when it seems like when Axe to Grind like it was just funny. I think some people just like to start shit because it's like when Axe to Grind said something similar, no one fucking got up their ass. Like everyone was just like, but I'm just like, all right, dude, I don't know what you're trying to get at, but I don't fucking care. You know, this is where you can flip the fucking channel. Don't flip the fucking, actually don't, because like, you know, listen to Stan. Don't listen to me. Listen to the guest. I just fucking ramble.
It's cool. I have ADD. I'm bad at rambling too. So I can totally empathize with you there,
dude. That's all this is, man. I'm just fucking rambling. I used to be like chill with like doing like the radio breaks, and I can if I really like
really put your mind to it.
Yeah, and really put some discipline in it, and because something that was crazy to me is like, I was like, how was it that I never cussed on the air, dude? How did I do it? I'd get angry, and somehow I still maintained composure and I was able to, like, my friends would be like, if they would go up to the station, they'd be like surprised, being like, how the hell did you
do it?
Because I'm so bad. My mouth is horrible when it comes to that stuff.
But it sounds like you were using for me, I know I have ADD, but if I can like channel that power and use it to benefit me rather than to use it as a positive. So like with writing music, right? So a lot of people lately have been categorizing Terminal Nation as like a death metal band, and that's fine. I'm not offended by that. I would agree with that in some ways. But and you had mentioned earlier, hardcore kids playing death metal. A lot of people want to, shit on that wave of newer death metal bands that were like ex hardcore kids or are current hardcore kids or whatever. But so I have this ADD mindset where I can't hear the same riff like Doom. I like some Doom and sludge stuff a lot, but I can only listen to it in certain increments, or otherwise it gets too much or whatever. So I have like an ADD mindset in terms of listening to music, which translates to having like an ADD mindset in terms of writing music. So I'm like, yo, we got to transition and do something else real quick. We can't be fucking around with the same riff over and over and over. Otherwise that shit gets boring. And so I think a lot of these newer death metal bands that kind of come from a more of a hardcore scene, they have that mindset. A lot of young like heavy hardcore bands, beatdown bands, whatever that shit. They're like, oh, let's hurry up and get to the mosh part. Well, that's a dumb way to write shit. But from that perspective, you're like, hey, let's constantly keep people entertained, keep people guessing what's next. Let's switch things up regularly or whatever. So, I take my ADD in my songwriting and use it to my benefit. So it's just all about channeling what you got going on in your head and using it to your advantage. So, that's how I do things.
At this age, I enjoy brevity in my songs. Like there are bands that really channel it, in some heavier bands. I'm trying to think of a band that I interviewed last year that did. It was a band from the Midwest, but I can't think of them. But they were like so quick with what they were doing. I love like some bands who are like have like that that are like a mosh band but don't linger. I love when a band doesn't linger.
For sure.
But you also mentioned like a cohesive record. So you guys like so far I can, at least in my mind, I can tell at least from 2 songs when something's going, especially when the band has been around for at least a couple releases, when something's going to be, you kind of have an idea, and that's why sometimes like people get really excited for a record. And that's why I'm excited to hear this, because like you have this initial idea of like, more than likely this is going to be super cohesive and a great record.
Hell yes. Cool. I'm stoked to hear that.
And I think listeners who don't, I think it's just like a sense for some listeners. That's like how some people get like excited. Like, I'm excited for this record because these 2 songs are good. So I have a good sense. Some listeners will have a good sense that this record's gonna fucking rule. Sometimes it's off every once in a while, but
sure.
But like I said, if you already have kind of like a resume of stuff, you have an idea. I wouldn't have an idea if it was like, if Terminal Nation had no music out at all and been like,
sure,
here's the record, like this could, that's when I'd be like, this could be a good record, not it's going to be a good record. But I guess that's all a matter of opinion. So
for sure, it's like layers of an onion or whatever. If we release a song and like, oh, this song is good because it has 5 or 6 parts that are really good, and they were binded together to make one good song, and then you take 10 songs that are just like that and bind them together to make a good record. If the ingredients are good, as long as they're mixed well, 9 times out of 10, the final outcome is usually not too bad. Usually if you got good ingredients and they're mixed well, you're not going to get a sour, unexpected taste at the end of it. So I think, like I said, I earlier in the interview, I think this is like Terminal Nation at its best, the culmination of what we're capable of as a band. Just all the right ingredients, but just mixed to perfection. This time around.
All right, Stan, dude, it's been fucking cool to catch up with you. I'm just
Yes. This was great. I appreciate your time. Let's do it again for the next record.
absolutely every time
I'll take some Adderall before, and then you do that. Well, maybe not. We'll keep each other on track a little bit more. I think it's too ADD. It makes for a good conversation either way.
I think.
Thank you so much for your time.
If anybody wants to rate this conversation, feedback's always helpful. It's usually. We'll just have to see. We'll just have to see what happens when this comes out. I'm not editing it. I'm just gonna throw it out there, and we'll see.
When is it supposed to drop? When is it supposed to drop? What day?
This will be out. Next week.
Okay, cool. So by next week, there will be a new. If you're listening to this, Terminal Nation has a new song, "Disciple of Deceit," premiering at Decibel Magazine, or that premiered last week at Decibel Magazine. So check that shit out.
If you haven't already, do it.
Yes. It comes out tomorrow, but we're in the time machine here.
We're in the future.
The
distant future.
Whoa! Did you just do that like live?
Yeah. Dude, here
All right,
we are.
You're tripping me out. You sound like Darth Vader right now.
Probably on your end, yeah. Anyways, what's any last words?
Terminal Nation Holocene Extinction LP coming out August 7th via $20 spin. Check that shit out. I think that's it, man. Thank you so much for your time. You've been awesome. Have a good rest of your evening.
All right, we're going to get back to it. You're listening to Dead Air, 2 hours of hardcore radio.
No, Well, here goes.
Flower Chains Collective.
I felt like I was watching a dream I'd never wake up from.
DIY clothing you can't get anywhere else.
Now you have something to look forward to after you die.
Information at flowerchains.us.
Oh my God. Oh no, don't let them take me in there.
illuminate my life tonight. Mistakes gone up, out of luck, out of the truck, in all black with the strap. Flashing the night, flash of my life. Back to you. No shot for you. Face down on the ground. Pull my blood out. See what I'm about. Enemies right now. Follow sun to the sound of silence again. Ambulance lights illuminate my life tonight. God is forerunning. Twist or die. It is back. And from that, he ain't coming back. Kill above you and alone. Marching heart. Turn to stone in my soul. Born at zero. Never had a chance at one.
I ain't shit. I ain't never gonna be shit. And you less of a man than me, so soon as I decide that you ain't gonna be shit, so be it. You remember that, motherfucker.
Or we're back to end episode 100. Shout out to Stan from Terminal Nation. It's so great to fucking have him back on the show. And the new record, Holocene Extinction, is going to be out August 7th on 20 Buck Spin Records. You can pre-order that shit. I believe now it might be gone. By the time you hear this, it might be all fucking gone. So if they have some shit, buy some shit from this band. Just a fucking genuine group of people that I really appreciate what the band does, what they stand for, and Stan is just a very down-to-earth person, and their music just fucking rips, dude. So let's finish it up with what y'all fucking heard. So we started off the set with music from London, metal and hardcore, fucking fast burst songs. Band called Burn Alive. This is I believe their first attempt at music. This is a 6-song EP titled This World Is Hell, and it's a fucking ass whooper. Just fast metal and hardcore mixed, and then this song ends with a cool ass mosh part. So what's not to fucking like? Check out Burn Alive. After that, we played some music from LA, Warfront, which is another very good crossover band that mixes they have it's not all just like integrated with just crossover. There's the punk hardcore parts, and then there is the metal parts, which I appreciate. Kind of it's cool when it's all just like kind of jumbled together and put together, layered in that way. But I like when there's it's kind of cool to have a distinct, this is a punk part, this is the metal part, in a crossover song. So I appreciate that. So check out Warfront, Domestic Abuse, 2-song demo. After that, we played some music. We staying in LA with Entry, punk hardcore. We played Vulnerable off their LP titled Detriment. Came out this month, just a few days ago, and self-described as inspired by bands like Discharge, Minor Threat, Converge, Tragedy, The Cramps, and Exploited. That's a lot. That's a lot to decipher with a lot of different sounds. But I would definitely say it's hardcore punk that from LA. That's that you can tell it's a California hardcore band. Like when you hear Dare, before I can state what bands they sound like, the first thing I think of is this is a California hardcore band. This sounds distinctly from California, and you can tell. You can just. I feel it in my bones when I listen to it. I can't tell you exactly why, but it's an undescribable feeling of California when I hear a band from LA like Entry. So check out the LP titled Detriment. After that, we played some music from New York with Missing Link, a beatdown EP or demo, something of those sorts. It's 4 songs, came out at the beginning of July. We played Chain Link Heart. Just some straightforward, heavy hardcore and beatdown. Nothing more to it. After that, going back and forth, didn't pick it by geography, but back to Southern California with Wrath of Gods. This shit is heavy, and it really reminds me of Reign Supreme, which I feel like in that era that Reign Supreme definitely stuck out with their hardcore metal influence. They just a little bit different for a band from 2008, 2009. I forget. I'm starting to forget in my old age. After that, we played music from Unreal City. They have a record coming out August 21st titled Cruelty of Heaven. We played War Behind Bars. I'm getting a very Iron Age feel with at least with some of these songs, at least this song, not some of these, this specific song. A little bit faster, gallopier than some of Iron Age's other material, but nonetheless, that's what I hear. I've heard other stuff such as like Integrity. I can definitely hear a blueprint of that within this, but I definitely, for some reason, I'm hearing Iron Age, but that's just my fucking ears. So check out Unreal City from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So we're gonna finish it up with some slower music. I talked about that earlier in the show. We're gonna play music from Soul Blind. I'm blanking whether I've played. We play so much music, and it's just like I said, it's just me, that it's hard for me to always remember exactly if I've played a band. I think I've played Soul Blind, but I'm not 100 on it. So they released music on Trip Machine titled Greatest Hits Volume 1. It's a mix of a bunch of some 7 inches, I believe some demos, and they have the first song is, I believe, the only new original song that's not from one of those releases, called Stuck in a Loop. This is straight up non-core. If you like any of the Hum records, specifically the new one and all the other, you're going to like this. Thought it's something a little bit different and nice to end the show with. So if you haven't checked out Soulblind, and you like more of the alternative, grungy shoegaze stuff that's still made by punks, 100%. I would recommend checking out Soulblind. Sorry for the fucking 100 episodes, and I still have a squeaky ass chair. So I think that's about it for the show. Thank you so much. Check us out where I said to check us out, and hopefully we're here for another 100 more episodes. Thank you to everybody who supports us and everybody who has listened thus far. You listen to Dead Air, 2 hours of hardcore radio. We'll be back next week.